In 2006, a woman named Sarah Swick posted a blog entry on the website deathwithdignity.com in which she described her grandmother, who was dying of kidney failure. Her grandmother had placed an advance directive that said she was to receive no food, no water, and no IV medication when her time finally came. 7 months later, this advance directive kicked in when she fell into a coma, and she spent 7 days falling in and out of consciousness, forgetting her friends and family, her body filling with fluids, screaming in pain as the bed sheets returned, and her face turning yellow. She spent 7 days dying. The goal of this advance directive was that when her time finally came, it would come quickly. And in today's law, that is what she did. She died for 7 days. What if that was your grandmother? What if it was you? What I'm proposing today is the legalization process that would allow an option to people like this woman who are suffering from a terminal illness and want to end their life on their own terms. This process is physician-assisted suicide. In assisted suicide, unraveling a complex issue, Mary Ursak describes physician-assisted suicide, which I'm going to refer to as PAS, as a process that allows doctors to prescribe a lethal dose of medication to terminally ill patients who request it to end their lives. Opponents to physician-assisted suicide provide 3 main arguments. I'm going to provide 3 refutations to these. First, I'll argue that PAS fulfills the Hippocratic Oath. Second, PAS does not cause a deterioration in the medical system. And third, patients who choose PAS as an option have sound reasoning. The first argument against the legalization of PAS is that it causes doctors to go against the Hippocratic Oath. In the Hippocratic Oath, doctors promise to do no harm. But what exactly does that mean? In a survey of this class, only 1 student mentioned that they thought doing no harm meant not causing death. 69% of the class defined doing no harm as either not intentionally causing pain or not acting without the patient's knowledge. As it is, PAS fulfills this definition. The patients who take part in the PAS process request to take part in it, so nothing is going on without their knowledge. And as I'm going to explain, it does not cause doctors to intentionally cause pain. Professor Dieterle of the University of Michigan defines doing no harm as doing what is best for the patient. In the case of a terminal illness, the only time when PAS is applicable, and no cure is possible, doing no harm means to ease suffering. If a patient's suffering is too bad, what is best for the patient then is to end that suffering. Ending suffering is not doing harm, and therefore I conclude that PAS does not cause doctors to go against the Hippocratic Oath. The second argument against the legalization of PAS is that it causes a deterioration in the medical system because it will cause doctors and family to take advantage of patients to ease their own burdens. To this, I respond with real data from the state of Oregon, where physician-assisted suicide has been legalized since 1997 under the Death with Dignity Act. The process of physician-assisted suicide is outlined in this act. First, to take part, a patient must be 18 years and older with a terminal illness and less than 6 months to live. This diagnosis must be confirmed by 2 separate doctors. The patient makes the initial oral request and then waits 15 days before providing a written request. After this, they are required to wait an additional 48 hours before the doctor will provide them with a lethal dose of medication that they administer to themselves to end their lives. My point in this is that this lengthy process makes it difficult for anyone to apply pressure, for patients to succumb to pressure, and for this pressure to go unnoticed by others. To support this, a survey done in 2004 asked 208 patients over the course of 6 years why they were choosing to end their lives through physician-assisted suicide. 90% of these patients responded with 3 reasons completely unrelated to their family pressure as to why they were choosing this option. From this, I conclude that PAS does not cause a deterioration in the medical system. The third argument against physician-assisted suicide is that it will cause patients to give up and simply stop fighting, viewing it as an easy way out. To this, I respond with the argument that patients who choose physician-assisted suicide have legitimate reasoning because they are suffering from immense mental and physical pain. Mentally, Dr. Erin defines suffering as an individual experience based on the perception of circumstances. In the case of the terminally ill, the loss of control, ability, and dignity can lead to a sense of demoralization. And the search for an unrealistic cure leaves patients in a constant state of apprehension. Physically, the South Australia Voluntary Euthanasia Society provides a partial list of diseases that can cause patients to turn to PAS as an option. This list includes lung cancer, mesothelioma, pelvic cancer, and chronic spinal osteoporosis. These diseases have effects such as facial distortions, nausea, vomiting, and malnutrition that can lead to starvation. So I propose that PAS does not cause patients to stop fighting, but to stop suffering. In conclusion, opponents of physician-assisted suicide have three main arguments. I have three refutations for these. First, PAS does not cause doctors to go against the Hippocratic Oath. Second, it does not cause a deterioration in the medical system. And third, it does not give patients a way to give up. Now, last week, the state of Massachusetts voted on whether to legalize physician-assisted suicide in their state. According to New York Daily News, 51% of the population voted against it. I believe this is because when people hear the phrase physician-assisted suicide, they automatically assume it's death-oriented, but it's not. It's about life. In life, you have choices, but in death, right now, you have no choice in how to die. I believe the terminally ill deserve the right to choose how to end their lives, and I hope that I've persuaded you that if a similar bill were to be proposed in the state of Wisconsin, you would support the legalization of physician-assisted suicide. Thank you.